What's going on, boys and girls? Welcome back to another OPM World video. Alright guys, we're going to be doing something that I've been wanting to do actually yesterday, just didn't get enough time. So we're going to talk about the pretty much the game, the status of the game, the good, the bad, the ugly. And we've now got confirmation from multiple content creators and multiple players who this has happened to that there is in fact a very big ugly. Now I thought the currency issue was the biggest problem. No. There is something way worse that's going on, and I'm going to address it just like other content creators have, because I think we need to have our voices heard on this. So let's start with the negative stuff first, and then we'll go into the positive stuff, because I think it's important to highlight the positives as well, because I think a lot of people don't look at the positives enough, but there's definitely a lot of negatives going on, and I think this needs to be first the major highlight, especially for the devs, to understand what the hell is going on and what they're causing the community to pretty much backlash on their game and stop playing it, essentially, right? So first off, the ugly. This is the worst thing that's happening right now. So for those who understand a reroll process in any gacha, normally you make guest accounts, you log in, and then you will get to a certain point in the game where you can roll for a specific character that you want, and essentially if you don't get that character, you create a new account, delete the old guest one, and do that same process again until you finally achieve that character. It's a very, very common practice in gacha games, and it's one that's been going on for, I can probably comfortably say, for years, right? Now, in this game, that process does exist. The problem is they've now made it where the process will ban you. That's right, ban you with an irregular activity on your account if you do any form of re-rolling, which to me is absolutely the stupidest thing any company can do for a gacha. And I'm sorry, I have a lot of experience with Crunchyroll. I've never been sponsored by Crunchyroll. I've never had any, form of like communication with Crunchyroll, and I probably never will. But this here, guys, is some other shit, let me tell you. It's gotten to the point where like it's banning players for trying to create a second account and re-roll for characters like Tatsumaki, right? That, like, imagine you don't get that character, you're like, oh, that's cool, whatever, then I'm not going to bother re-rolling anymore. I'm just going to go ahead and jump into my normal account, and people's normal accounts are being deleted. They're being, not deleted, but they're being banned, essentially not allowed to play on them. There's irregular activity. It's considered a cheat. Yo, devs, get your head out of your asses, man. I don't know what the hell you're thinking. Like, I love this game. I'm going to cover some of the positive things about this game. I think there's a lot of good things that are going on. But there's two major things now. It was originally one major thing. Now it's two major things that you guys are messing up on. So this is absolutely the ugly. The second part of the ugly, which I think also needs to be addressed, is the fact that the game here currently doesn't give you enough currency at all. Like, not at all. Like, zero. You know what? I have to turn this auto mode off. Sorry, guys. I hate auto mode. It's so bad. It's something else I want to talk about real quick. The currency is absolutely atrocious. Like, anyone who wants to be free to play, you're in for the stingiest currency game ever. Like, World Silver is so hard to get. Not, let alone there's no dailies, there's no bonuses to getting World Silver. Like, every day there's like, you have to get achievements. It's a one-time thing, and once you've done that achievement, your achievement's gone, and then you have to find another way to get more World Silver. Your currency, guys, your currency acquisition in this game is bar none the worst I've ever seen in my life. That's saying a lot. I've played 15 plus years of gachas, guys, and I can tell you now, this is the worst currency system I've ever seen. And I thought beta wasn't that bad, because you guys were giving us a lot of stuff, and I thought for sure, you know what, there's no way in hell they're gonna mess this up during regular release. But you done did it. You messed up during regular release. When it matters the most, you guys messed up. That was the one thing I think in beta that we actually didn't mind. And yet, it's probably one of the worst systems in any gacha I've ever seen. Again, so something they really need to address. Now the game is only six days old now, right? So I'm not going to, put all my money on the fact that Maelstrom is the only way to really get any form of currency outside of playing achievements and stuff. Because Maelstrom is very competitive, and it's very whaley. If you were a whale, you will do very well in Maelstrom. If you're free to play, you're not going to rank that high, so you're going to be having a hard time every week getting yourself currencies. So right now, the Maelstrom, the top currency for first place is 1,000 plus credit, 1,000 World Silver plus some credit, and some other things like will chips, I think, or something like that. So like it's got good rewards, but it's very, very heavily pay to win. So I just want to make sure that we understand that there needs to be another way to get players currency, because right now it's just not feasible to stay free to play. Like for example, for Tatsumaki, because it's a 50-50 banner, if somebody has to pull 120 to guarantee it, 120, and this is the first banner character we're getting, I can only imagine how much worse it's going to get from here on in, guys. So like please rethink your strategy here and how you want to handle this, because I think this is the biggest turnoff for a lot of players. Outside of the banning, the actual currency issue is a huge problem for a lot of players, guys. So I really do hope the devs, you know, again, really rethink their standpoint on this and stop being so stingy, and consider the fact that, you know, a lot of players are playing this game, they love this game, and they want to continue. And people will spend if you have a decent monetization system. And that's the next topic I want to talk about. The monetization system. You guys don't understand how many times I've been asked, Payne, what's worth getting in this game? My answer, almost 100% of the time, has been nothing. Nothing. The monetization is so bad. It's either you get a little bit of currency by paying a lot of money, or you get a lot of currency by paying a shitload of money. Where there's no in between at all. There's like no dolphin-like currencies, in my opinion. That's my opinion. I've looked at the shop, and I've been a whale for a very long time, and I've stopped whaling. I'm completely free to play on this account. I've been free to play for a lot of my games, unless it's like a tax expense I want to do. I was willing to spend for this game a little bit, just a little bit, right? Just like minnow style. But when I saw what they did to the selective summons, I instantly said no to that. Like, that was a big turnoff for me, and I think it was a big turnoff for a lot of other people as well. So I really hope the devs understand how difficult it is to support a game that you guys are clearly just looking for money. And now I understand this game was a lot to make. Like, a lot of money was spent in this game. You can tell it's gorgeous. It's an absolutely beautiful game. But to sit there and make the community suffer for that is a whole different story. You guys can make so much more profit by being a little bit more reasonable. Okay, so three things actually. So the real ugly is the banning and the currency acquisition. The bad is the monetization. Okay, the one that needs to be, another thing that needs to be fixed for sure is controller support for mobile. I'm hearing that people are being banned for using controllers or any type of third-party applications for their mobile phone. You guys 100% need to put a controller configuration on your mobile. It should be compatible with all controllers. It's crazy to think people want to play this game with touchscreen when controllers are the way to go. This is an action RPG. Action RPGs are built to be played with controllers. That's why people have those things. So that's a really bad thing as well too, okay? So those things are probably the worst parts of this game. Now, that's enough for a lot of people not to play. And again, the devs really need to rethink, do you want this game to last, or do you want this game to be a quick buck game? Let's go to the good. Okay, the good. First off, I would say graphics. Graphics are incredible. Stays completely true to the animation in the manga. The characters are all unique and smooth in their own way. There's a 60 pity, which is really good for a gacha. Most gachas are 90 to 100 to 120, so the 60 pity is really good. Although the acquisition of World Silver is impossible to get, the 60 is actually pretty decent. And there's a 50-50 chance on limited banners, and they last for a fairly long time. So that's not a bad thing. 50-50 is not a bad. I know a lot of people hate 50-50s, but to me, at least you're guaranteed something. Now, one thing I would remove, of course, from those character banners is impressions. I think impressions should never be on a limited banner ever. That's a character. You should always be able to only get characters. I think that's something they definitely need to fix. Although, again, the 60 is good. Now, let's go to obviously the best thing about this game. The quality of the game is there, right? We're talking about character design, we've already discussed, but I'm talking about like combat smoothness. This game is probably the best combat I've played in a very long time. Everything you do with any character, you feel it. Whether it's Zombie Man shooting his guns, I feel that. Whether it's Saitama punching something, I feel that. Whether it's Sonic slashing, going into swords, like it feels like quality. There's quality behind every hit. There's quality behind every move. There's impact with everything that you do. So I think the game does that incredibly well, like better than most other games that I've ever seen. But unfortunately, is that enough? The bosses are great. The design, like the boss mechanics are fun. The game exploration is good. It's not overbearing. It's not too big, but it's also not too small. There's enough for you to do to feel like there's an actual open world with living NPCs around. So for me, these things are not. It's not an MMO by any means, right? Let's not mistake the two things. A massive multiplayer online RPG is more brimming with life. This is not like that at all. But this does a really good job being a more linear, open, quote unquote, open world game. So I think this game is very free-to-play friendly. I'm going to talk about this real quick because this, I think, is the last topic I want to discuss. A lot of people will not agree with this. Now, my definition of free-to-play might not be the same as yours. My definition for free-to-play was what I am right now, is I'm able to use all the characters I'm given for free or that I've summoned with without using any paid currencies to be able to get to end game content. That's what I've been able to do. I'm there now, right? Now, when PvP comes out, this game will be immensely pay to win because when you start getting dupes in characters, when you start getting impressions dupes and stuff with characters, they become so much stronger. Now, for PvE purposes, you don't need dupes. Dupes are not a necessity in any way, shape, or form for PvE. But for PvP, dupes are going to be a night and day difference. And I think that when PvP is introduced, my mentality behind this being a free-to-play game will probably change quite a bit, and we'll probably consider this more of a pay-to-win game. But for what it is now, this game is absolutely free to play in my mind. Even if you don't get the character you like, the SRs can take you all the way to end game and you'll do just fine with them, right? So that's my take on this, guys. Let me know your thoughts, right? I'm curious to hear what you guys think. There is good and bad, but the banning thing is just over the top. Devs, you guys really need to stop that nonsense. Rerolling should be a standard for all games. You should never punish your players for wanting to work hard. And I'm saying the words, work hard to get the characters that you guys make it hard to get. So don't ever punish a player for putting in the work just because you guys want to be greedy. Alright guys, this is Payne. Hope you enjoyed the video. I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Take care.